YouTube. Rumors of my demise have been greatly exaggerated. But in all seriousness, I'm sorry I haven't posted a video in about 10 years that anyone cares about. I moved back to the United States and started my career, and it was really difficult to actually post anything. But I'm back, thanks to my nephew Zaid, who gave me the idea. He's one of the biggest fans of my channel, and he gave me the idea, hey, we should unbox PS Portal on your channel. So here we are today, not just one PS Portal, but we have two PS Portals for your viewing pleasure. The original white, the newer black, and we'll compare them. If you're wondering if I'm still into games these days, that should tell you right there. Yeah, I'm still into games these days. Let's get right into it, YouTube. Let's cut this white one open here. We'll start there. And get this out of the frame for a moment here. If I needed to open both of those, I don't know. Let's see. How does this open? Probably didn't. Oh. Cardboard. All right. So obviously, you got the outer box. I mean, this thing's been out for a while. I'm not going to be surprised if you've already seen what you wanted to see, but we're still here with content in 2025. So, remote player for PS5. Interesting. It doesn't say PlayStation Portal. Maybe that was originally what they called it, was remote player. This is a fancy box. All right. Box there. I'm going to lift this corner up. Ooh, here it is. So on the underside here, it looks like we've got charging cable. Let's take a look at what we've got. I'm going to assume it's just a C-to-C cable. Man, look at that. Look at that. Surprise, surprise. C-to-C cable. They did give you squared edges. That's pretty cool. All right. The main event. The PlayStation Portal. First of all, I think you can tell that's a big boy right there. I believe there's an 8-inch screen on this guy. Hopefully it's a pretty nice screen. I don't believe it's OLED, but that's okay. $199, honestly, pretty cheap price to pay if this is what you're into. It doesn't really do anything other than remote play or play PS Plus game streaming, but I think it's pretty neat. It's pretty neat. So there's a big review. Obviously, it's basically a tablet stuck between two PS5 controllers. I love that they prioritized comfort on this. Like, it looks kind of silly, not gonna lie, but they were like, you know what? Let's just give the full PS5 controller experience. And that's exactly what they did. So, me looking at it personally, holding it, I mean, it basically feels exactly like a PS5 controller feels. So, I like that. Got your PS button here, right? Microphone mute over here. But the I/O is basically, as far as controls go, basically exactly the same as a PlayStation 5 controller. Coming around the top, what do we have? We have volume up and down right over here. We've got some kind of button here. Maybe reset. I'm not totally sure what that does. We can find out. And then obviously power. Let's go ahead and pull this off. And there it is. I will boot one of these up, but I'm going to boot up the black one. So there's a white one. Let's take a look finally at the bottom of the box here. Stuff that you're probably never going to look at. Just one of those manuals that's in 17 languages. That's paper thin. You can definitely read that on your own time if you like. But again, here it does say remote player. So maybe that was the original name, and then the marketing name is the PlayStation Portal. But that's cool. If you're looking at my beautiful fingernails here and wondering why my nails are painted, I have 3 lovely daughters these days that have been born since my hiatus for my channel, and I just let them do whatever they want to do. So, all right, we've got the white PS Portal looking good. Let's get into the black one. Just gonna put all of this over here, and we will get started into the black one. Now this is pretty new, I think. I don't think the black color has been around super long yet. I'm not totally sure, to be honest. But I think this is new. It's definitely a lot newer than the white one. They also did a 20th anniversary gray one. 25th? 20th anniversary gray one. Obviously don't have that one in my hands. 30th anniversary seed. Things that I definitely know. Don't have that one. It looks cool. It looks really nice. I like the original gray color scheme. I guess that would be... Hold on. How has that been 30 years? It is 30 years, now that I think about it. 1995, 1994 to 2024. I don't like thinking about these things, but it's the truth. We're all old. All of you who remember my original channel, my original videos, we're all old. Sorry to say. All right. Let's open up the black one. We'll see if there's any differences with packaging. I highly doubt it. It's probably going to be the same. Cardboard edge, exactly the same. Out comes this guy. Same box, still says remote player. This box also, I believe, is exactly the same, except it does feature the black portal with a black PS5. That's the vibe it's going for there. Slide this guy out. I like the packaging. I think it's nice. This is a real sturdy box. I like it a lot. I think they did a pretty decent job with the packaging on this guy. Put this up. Once again, C2C cable in here. I'm going to just take a quick look, make sure nothing's different. Just, you know, posterity's sake here. It looks exactly the same. Exactly the same. So you have a C2C cable. I'm sure you don't have 57 of these laying around your house. No AC adapter because we don't do that anymore. And the black PlayStation Portal. Take a quick look here. Underneath the box, exactly the same instruction manual. So I'm going to get all this packaging out of the way. And we'll pull the black one out. Ooh, and it looks nice. I mean, you can see the contrast here. Obviously, the white original PS5 colorway did have the black accents. This is black on black. I think most people in general prefer black handhelds. I'm a bit more of a white handheld guy myself, but I think this looks quite nice. I'm quite happy with the way this black one looks. If I had to pick one or the other, I don't know if I'd be able to do it. One of these is my nephew Zaid's and one of them is mine, so fortunately I don't have to pick. But I think that this black colorway looks quite nice. Oh, one thing I didn't notice earlier, you do have USB-C. Obviously, you need to charge it. USB-C charging on the bottom here, and a headphone jack as well, just like the original PS5 controller. So, there's the screen on the black one. Before we turn it on, I'm not going to actually test it in this video because I have to make sure, obviously, that my PS5 is all set up. I will turn it on, though. Let's do some comparisons here. So I'll put the white one off to the side here. Obviously, it's a pretty big boy. I don't know, how well you'll travel with this, but I don't know. If you're used to Steam Deck ROG Ally, it might not be too bad. Speaking of ROG Ally, so I have the Ally X here. It is in a D-brand kill switch case, which makes it a tiny bit fatter, but if we take a look here, honestly, not that different size-wise. The portal is going to stick out just a little bit more, and it lifts up a little more. Obviously, the tablet portion on the portal is considerably thinner. Otherwise, very, very similar. This is a 7-inch screen. This is an 8-inch screen. I believe they're both IPS screens. This is definitely not OLED. I'm pretty positive this is not OLED. But yeah, it's pretty decent screen on this guy. Now, obviously, some of you might be saying, why do you have a PS Portal if you already have an ROG Ally X? You can obviously remote play on an ROG Ally X. My answer to that is, why not? All right, moving on. Size comparison. Let's go with an original PS5 controller. This is my favorite controller because I modded it with the micro switches. If you're into clickier buttons in a D-pad, I highly recommend it. Extreme Rate on Amazon. Taking a look at those two. Obviously, again, as I mentioned, it's basically like they cut this guy right down the middle, stretched it out. I mean, the handles, I believe, are exactly the same. The sticks look slightly smaller, actually, potentially. The actual size of the tops here look like they're maybe just a tiny bit smaller. But the actual travel is definitely really good on these sticks compared to some of these other handhelds that we'll get to. But otherwise, yeah, it's like they took it, split it in half, and there you go. There's the PS Portal. Move this guy out of the way. I know a lot of you guys who watch the channel are probably wondering, how does the Portal compare to a Miyoo Mini Flip? That's a great question. Let's take a look. Yeah, size-wise, you know, I would say the PS Portal is just a touch bigger than the Miyoo Mini Flip, and by just a touch bigger, I mean about 8 times the size. But again, I know you were all waiting for that one, so there you go. Miyoo Mini Flip, PS Portal, a little different. Let's take a look. This is an 8-bit Do controller. This is a Sega Saturn, modern Sega Saturn controller, one of the licensed ones. So you can take a look there. Not too different from the size of a PS5 controller with 8-bit Do. And I have to get a Saturn controller in there because if you don't like Saturn, what are you doing? This is one of the newest controllers I've got here. This is a GameSir controller. Thank you to Russ from Retro Game Core. He did a review on that. And like usual, when he does reviews, I'm just like, yeah, I'm just going to go pick that up because Russ works that magic. This is a really cool controller. Again, I'm a big fan of micro switch face buttons and D-pad. So I've been using this recently to play things like Monster Hunter Wilds on my PC. Works really well. Again, size comparison there. It's very similar to the size of an 8-bit Do controller, so no big difference there. This is an Odin 2 Portal. Another recent pickup of mine. Very cool hardware. If you are into the retro game scene at all, surely you know Ein Odin. A lot of Odin 2 fans out there. This is the Odin 2 Portal. This does have one of the best screens I've ever seen on any device ever. OLED, 120 hertz. It's just amazing. Very, very beautiful screen. So I'm going to assume that I'm going to like the screen still better on this. But once again, I do believe this is a 7-inch screen, the same as the ROG Ally. So compared to the 7-inch screen on the original Steam Deck, I don't have a Steam Deck in front of me, sorry. 7.4-inch on Steam Deck OLED. So this screen is still going to trump those other screens. So collecting a little dust on this guy. But that's how the size compares. Again, this sticks out higher because it actually has legit controls. These analog sticks, though, are well improved from the Odin 2 and other retro devices, in my opinion. Really like their D-pad as well. So it lays down a little bit. But once again, this is like a lighter, thinner ROG Ally X when it comes to the size of the device. So that's how those two compare. Now, the final comparison, the one I know you've been waiting for. Yes, I still do own a PS Vita. This is my white Vita 2000. Still works brilliantly. I will never not love the Vita. This is the whole reason this YouTube channel exists, is because on the day I bought the PS Vita, I decided I would just unbox it on YouTube. Shaky cam and all. Thank you guys for the props way back when. That's not how YouTube works these days. No one would watch that content. No one's probably going to watch this content. But for the real OGs that are watching, we appreciate you. So how does it compare? Take a look. I remember when the Vita came out, everyone said the Vita is huge. It's massive. It's big. I think if you go look at my videos, this was really big, especially the screen compared to the 3DS and the DS back then at the time. Obviously PSP. This screen at the time was amazing. And actually the Vita 1000 had an OLED screen, which if you think about it, suddenly now in 2024, 2025, people are like cracked on OLED. But the PS Vita had it back in 2011. That's actually wild to think about. I think back then it was like, oh, it's OLED screen. Yeah, I heard those are really good. Great. Not this one, but if you look back on it, holy crap, the Vita was so ahead of its time with, you know, the mics, the camera, the way you could communicate. I look back on it and I'm just mind blown. It actually has more features than pretty much any handheld that still comes out to this day. Absolutely insane. So still love the PS Vita. It's still there. I still have one of them. And yeah, it rocks. So there you go. That's size comparison to PS Vita. Let's just turn this on real quick and see, does it come charged? And if it does, let's just see what the screen looks like and kind of how the intro process looks. Maybe not. Let's grab a quick cord and see if maybe we can get something quick out of it here. Very impromptu. Again, this is how my channel always was. Never planned anything much. Do we have a charging indicator on this guy? Oh, the screen is the charging indicator. So now that I've given it a little power. Oh, it says 52%. Okay. Maybe I didn't hold it down long enough. I don't know. Maybe I held it down too long. Here we are. Again, I think I like the black look better, maybe. I don't know. It looks really nice. It looks really, really nice. So PS Portal, for those of you who don't know, I believe it runs a proprietary flavor of Android. I'm pretty positive it does. That's just skinned basically for the purpose of remote playing. So you can remote play this to your PlayStation, your own PlayStation. You can do it in your house or outside, as long as you've got a decent connection. I believe they say you need at least a 5 megabit connection, and they recommend a 10 megabit connection. I don't know about most of you guys. I guess it depends on where you live, but 10 megabits these days is not much. I'm hoping that most of you have at least, 50, 100 megabit connections. All right, let's take a look. English United States. Networks found. There we are. Crossbell 5G. Shout out to Zero no Kiseki for the Kiseki fans out there. Go ahead and put in my password here real quick. And we'll see what happens after this. Speaking on the screen, obviously not too much going on color-wise yet, but it looks nice. I mean, it's big. It's really big. An 8-inch screen on a portable is definitely on the large size. I believe that's the same size as the Lenovo Legion Go, which I played with a little bit. Really, with the Legion Go, the only thing I really liked on it was the screen. It's pretty fat. I had kind of a hard time with the controls personally, but I do enjoy that with this that they did release a big screen with it. Right? I think most of the time the use case for this is going to be playing at your home when your kids are on the TV, your wife's on the TV. You just want a way to play your PlayStation without taking up a TV screen or the TV screen that it's on. I know at my house, we've moved the PS5 up and down. My kids want to play Astro. I pull it down here to play Elden Ring, whatever it is. So now, maybe I'll just play it on this. So let's take a look. It's asking about time zone. An error occurred, checking the update, so that's fun. I'm going to set this. I live in Mountain Time. And it defaults to December 31st, 1969, so that's fun. Today is March 10th. Not 1969, 2025. And it looks like the time right now is just shy of 2 p.m. You can't scroll from the top to the bottom on the time. I'm going to give that an F on the way you're selecting time here. That's all right. We're going to try again. All right, there we go. So we have a system software update. So as far as my unboxing of the PS Portal goes, I think we're going to end it right there. To any of you guys actually watching, really do appreciate you guys. Hopefully there's at least a few of you OGs who watched the original videos I put back in the day who are maybe enjoying this. But yeah, if you want a relatively cheap, easy way to play your PS5 without a TV, the Portal might be for you. Jury's out a little bit right now on how well the remote playing actually works. Maybe I'll do a follow-up video talking about how it works. But for now, hardware-wise, looks a little silly, but you get the full controller experience. I definitely can see why they did that. The screen definitely looks like it's going to hold up nice enough. So initial thoughts of the PS Portal are positive. So thanks again for watching. Really appreciate it. And maybe we'll catch you in the next one.